Welcome, everyone, to Blood and Iron Dead Man's Hand. Session 46. Last we left off, our members of the coterie Dead Man's Hand had been doing some individual projects to better assert themselves in maybe some indirect ways in their own domain. Shriek, by making the suggestion to a number of individuals, including the individual themselves, that Sister Charity become the standing primogen once Keller's removed. Dorian, on that front, has been vying for the kind influence in hospital itself, standing as the person who would protect the contents of such a place without knowing the contents at all. Aaron has been doing some, maybe soul-seeking is one of these, is the word for it, but perhaps a little bit of lashing out is another word for it, as he's made it abundantly clear to Dorian that he does not approve that Dorian stole a memory from him. And has been doing everything that he can to learn what happened at the hospital that night, the night of the Second Inquisition raid, the night Cash Jackson died. Alexandra has again made herself useful by discovering more about the Winters family, how much of Aaron's branch of that family, how much they know, how much they're involved with the Second Inquisition, how much they're involved with organizations like the Society of St. Leopold, how much of his family is destined in some way to end the vampire curse, rid the world of them, extinguish them. We open up with Shriek having been asked by his lovely coterie mate Dorian to look into an individual that goes by the name 40 Hands. Shriek has a description that this punk, in a more upscale bar that the Grey is, the sort of richer clientele of a sort of goth-themed bar. Not necessarily that it is strict about that sort of theme, but it is definitely one of those places where clothes that don't quite fit right, clothes that are a little bit frayed on the edges, clothes that are a little bit mismatched for their style, sticks out like a sore thumb. Described as slightly disheveled and unkempt. Shriek is on a mission to find out more about this individual.
You know, I do love this club. Can't be in it too long, but well, hate to end up ruining the dear Ventru's perfect carpets. Still,
remaining mostly unseen. If your own aesthetic isn't a bit of a thing to gawk at.
well, trying to anyway. I usually start off with a kind of profiling. Yeah, staying outside, observing who's coming in, who's coming out, get a sense of what the vibe is. Of course, the whole city knows about Mr. Resner's club and its clientele. So it ends up making things a little bit easier to end up knowing what you're walking into. Heads bouncing already to the music as we can end up hearing it reverberating out from the club itself. You can almost hear it halfway down the street. That's the kind of place this can always end up being. Is I'm pretty sure that the DJ is throwing on like some kind of like early 2000s kick. I'm hip, yeah, a little bit about it at this point as I'm observing outside. Will probably be here, sneaking my way in. Of course, the fishnets and tight shirt kind of end up making it work, especially with the arm sleeves. But it ends up making things a little bit easier when I'm not detected at the right out of the gate. After a preliminary portion, I will end up using my own powers of obfuscate to end up using unseen passage, as I'm going to end up looking in to end up seeing if I can end up finding 40 hands. If not, maybe find myself a cheap date.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the rouse.
Little hungrier.
Little hungrier. What's that put you at, Shriek?
That's 3.
Okay, still manageable. Very grumbling stomach, if you can call it a stomach anymore, as it doesn't function the same way anymore. Instead, blood is simply swallowed and absorbed. But it does almost speak with its own sort of loud grumbles in your mind. The same sort of rumbling that you used to feel when you were alive, maybe a little bit more vicious in the sort of need and instinct sort of way. But you feel it. It's there. Not bound to make you act on impulse by any means, but any hungrier and you just might act on those impulses.
Well, they always said I was impulsive.
Impulsive indeed. Go ahead and make me a wits awareness. You're primarily looking around. Being able to hear anyone's conversation in this place is going to be near impossible.
Probably not best to activate heightened senses at this point.
No, probably not. As heightened senses turns on all your senses.
Not great, but I'm going to have to keep it for now.
There's just 2. Okay. You don't spot anybody who looks out of place. Not immediately, anyway. Most everyone here looks like they're dressed like they should. Upscale. Maybe some real gold and silver jewelry. Maybe some real Rolexes on some wrists. Maybe some real Gucci bags. Maybe some real Armani tailcoats.
Do want.
But also, some of these might be fake to fake the aesthetic. There's no way that you could really particularly tell. You're not exactly a fashionista.
No, but I do know what I like.
You do know what you like. And even the fakes, if they are fakes, pull off the scene rather well.
But I don't see him at this point.
Not at this particular moment, no.
Well,
Is there any place you're going to look specifically? Your broad scope of the place is not getting you anywhere.
so I think that I'm going I'm going to end up looking about. Now, what I'm primarily looking for is if they're not on the floor, if they're not out there in the public, that might mean that they might be feeding around here. Now, that means probably in the back, probably in that one corner of the room, the one that's dimly lit. I'm sure that Mr. Resner ends up having that kind of little location for his own comfort.
Yes.
But I'm not expecting this individual to end up in VIP rooms right now, nor do I expect them to be in the back just hanging out. I'm pretty sure he ends up maintaining staff for that, makes it a little bit more difficult. Then again, if this individual 40 hands is able to end up doing what I'm doing, it's two blind men trying to find each other, and only one's looking. Wouldn't that get to a messy good time?
Yes, indeed. There is a second floor, guarded by a bouncer, of course, leading that two VIP rooms that line the walls of this rather large building. If you didn't know any better, you'd probably say that this building was initially intended to be a warehouse, but it's been converted, given how large it is. But it's downtown. Who would need a warehouse in downtown?
Good
Ages
question.
ago, maybe.
Well, reappropriating old stock that isn't useful anymore? Sure, why not? Keep the aesthetics. I understand that nobody can see me, but it doesn't stop me from bopping a little bit as I end up doing so right in front of the bouncer's face as I walk by, knowing full well he can't see me. Just enjoying just reveling in the fact that I have the walk of the place and nobody knows it.
They almost seem to give you a wide berth as you're walking towards anyone, as if this obfuscate has not necessarily made you invisible, but made people get out of the way, made people turn a blind eye, made people not assume anything about you if they spot you at all.
Nice part about dimly lit clubs.
As if he's meant to, you slip towards the bouncer. He sort of kind of leans to one side, kind of looking to his phone almost absent-mindedly as you walk by, and then goes back to looking around at his post as you pass by, as if it was meant to be.
Who needs the discipline to dominate when you can just invite yourself in?
So are you going? You said you were going to check out like bathrooms, back rooms, employee
places
spaces.
Where if I was taking a date and wanting to feed, I'd like a little bit of privacy, maybe a quickie in the bathroom.
Okay, I'm going to make this a new wits and awareness, or resolve, your choice.
It's going to be wits.
Okay.
Let's be honest here.
He has no.
Shriek is very much a quarter.
Instant gratification sort of man.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two.
Two successes. Two successes. Okay.
Yeah, same as the before. There are, when you peek in, individuals in the restrooms, as you would expect people who are going to the restroom are meant to do. You don't hear anything of a seductive or vampiric nature behind those doors. So you move on to the sort of back hallways where the storage closets and the manager's office and maybe the security desk is. You kind of peek your head in through what crevices and through what windows maybe there. Nothing so far.
I'll pull out my phone, double check that it's silent
Indeed.
for sending a quick text to Mr. Resner. No sign of him at the club. He's still around? Question mark. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Really wish I knew how to end up cracking this, otherwise I'd start taking photos without that awkward little click motion. Could probably hide it, but let's not take the chance.
I would tell him where I think he is and probably come out of my office and look around.
So Dorian peeks his head out of the office and shoots you a text to Shriek.
Hmm. Hmm. Do I, at this point, see him come out of the office? Given the fact that I'm upstairs, I'm not sure if it's a balcony that lets you oversee the rest of the club, or if his office is in the back past the kitchen, or anything like that. Since I don't know the layout, I'm going to leave that up to Mr. Dresner.
I think we established that it is upstairs past all the VIP rooms.
Dorian's
So you would see me.
yes. Dorian's office is upstairs, where the other manager, the woman who often tends the bar, her office is downstairs. As are the bathrooms. All of the bathrooms are downstairs. There might be some private ones upstairs, but not very many. The big public bathrooms are downstairs.
I move up behind Mr. Resner in a low voice, enough not to end up breaking the obfuscate, though I imagine it might be a little bit difficult with the music. You always invite me to the best places.
I'm trying to compose myself.
Mm.
Not let known that kind of probably scared the shit out of me.
Do you want to test that theory?
Nah. He knows I'm in the club. and let's be honest here. Strict being here for long term is probably not in the best interest of the infrastructure.
Yes, he usually shows up. I don't know where he is right now.
That's a pity. I was looking forward to finding him.
I'll tell Shriek where I set him up at, like a local hotel or something, like something cheap, just so we had a place to stay on the short term until I figured out something better to do.
And you did give him permission to feed here, so.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then any chance of me acquiring a little bit of a sip?
That can be arranged.
Just need enough to put a little in the tank. So I would hate to end up making a bit of a scene. Trust me, I love being in the spotlight, but would hate to end up ruining the decor. Looks like it's expensive. Smells expensive. Like you.
Pretty much. I don't know where he could be tonight if he's not hanging around.
Okay. So would that be like a herd or just permission to hunt on the grounds? Just logistically speaking.
It's my sire's domain, so by extension, I'm giving you permission to feed this once.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Unusual way to feed. And just to be clear, that's only in the club, right? Shriek would probably know. I don't.
As far as the domain and everything?
Yeah, like I have permission to feed in the domain. Now, if there's a nearby apartment building where people are passed out or late night, probably gonna feed there. But if it's only within the club, I gotta play to the club, right?
Yeah, only within the club.
Okay. I will make a quick attempt. Now, this is more of a siren style feeding, which is going to be embarrassing as fuck because, well, Shriek thinks that he's smooth and suave. I can't play smooth and suave to save my life, and I, as earlier stated, am absolutely terrible at flirting. So,
Shriek might be actually better
Honey.
at this than you.
Yeah, honey, does Bresner have to teach you?
yeah. Please, Resner's like cocaine. He smells expensive.
Oh, very much so.
All right. So, if I recall off the top, that is
It is a charisma subterfuge.
charisma subterfuge. Let's give it a go. Why not? And would I get its assistance from Resner because of me being near him in the club?
Yeah, I can.
He can
assist.
directly assist to get that dot. But if you're not wanting to use his direct assistance, then yeah, he's
okay. No, I will use his direct assistance. Not my forte. This is like
okay.
Freak's got his feeding style down pat. This is not his feeding style. So we're gonna give it a shot.
Dorian's playing wingman.
All right. We need 4, right?
You don't know the difficulty of this domain.
I'm gonna. I hate spending willpower this early, but I gotta try. 4.
Okay.
Is 4 enough in this domain to feed?
4 is enough. Now, how long do you want to spend on it? Because that will determine how much you're able to take, as far as how long you're able to keep a person out of sight, as it were.
Unfortunately, time's of the essence, so I'm doing this as a quick bite. I'll probably only take 1 since it's
quick bite.
I want to take 2, but taking 2 would take too long for the fact we're kind
taking
of
2 typically takes an hour or more. Yeah.
Yeah. So like. I'm going to presume that this is like 15-20 minutes, which means we're in for a quickie. Though Shriek's never been shy of giving a quickie, so long as, nothing's out of reach around.
A little bit of flirting between Shriek and their prey, as that will actually break your obfuscate, so you will have to rouse for unseen passage if you wish to use it again. So you are currently not obfuscated.
I am not obfuscated, and I'm not going to remain obfuscated, as I got another location I got to take a look at, and I just realized I broke specs.
It's not hard. It's not hard to break them.
Specs, you can take a picture of this because it's one of the few times I'm going to do it.
But, Shriek, make another wits and awareness, please.
But I can't. I got the dumb.
Well, you're in the VIP rooms right now as part of Dorian's little assistance here.
Yep. All right, 2. I have 1 unspent willpower left.
Okay.
Ooh, pardon me.
You do spot something. A guy with dark, sort of curly hair. His jacket doesn't fit right.
Now that's interesting.
Does he meet the
description? He meets the description? Go ahead.
From what you can tell as of right now, seems to.
All right.
Tallish, dark hair, unkempt clothing.
Then I am going to rouse to maintain my obfuscate and hope that it doesn't cost me again. It doesn't. I'm actually better off. Derek dice has been broken. It's gonna bite me in the ass later.
We'll have to find out. He's continuing to walk, and looks like he has a very pretty woman on his arm. Seems to be walking to a secluded portion of the VIP's area. Maybe to a room?
I shoot a text, just updating Mr. Resner, what room this individual's found in, and a very light description on who he just walked in, just in case it's somebody important. If not, hey, not my problem. Pretty woman, VIP room number 6, just walked in.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
Do I
seem
see
to be
this
anybody
coffee?
that you recognize.
Okay.
You do see this as you are up in the VIP's floor 2.
So maybe it's just he gets the text, he takes a look at VIP room 6, and then sees, oh, okay. Probably something like that.
Might have just arrived. Who knows?
Okay.
What do you do?
Just to be clear, you're asking Resner, right?
I'm asking either of you. You're both on the scene.
I am going up to the room. I am standing at the edge of the door, and I am listening in very, very carefully. Not using heightened senses because the music's going to end up causing me all kinds of headaches that I don't want to end up going into, but...
Mm-hmm. If they're having a conversation, it's still very hushed. There's not a whole lot that you're able to hear over the music.
That's okay. I got all night. And it's not my job to interfere, just to let him know what he's dealing with. So, unless interrupted, I am just going to continue following until something interesting happens. Or I catch him with his pants down. Either way, we can make it an interesting night.
Well, the door's closed and the windows curtains are currently shut, so you're not gonna get a peek at much of anything.
No. Well, then I imagine time fast forwards a bit because I am following this individual through and through. Right now he's in Resner's club, so him running into Resner here wouldn't be much of an issue.
No.
If Resner wants to do something about him feeding in that particular portion, then by all means. If it turns into a problem, well, I'm here to document. Once he leaves the club, though, that's when the fun really begins.
Well, Dorian, you are aware that this 40 Hands character, or whom Shriek assumes to be this 40 Hand character, has walked into one of the VIP rooms, VIP room 6, with a lovely lady, and has been in there for about 10 minutes by now. You know that there's a nice bottle of wine in there with some glasses. You know that there's some hors d'oeuvres, but if he's feeding, he might be in there for a while.
I'll just see what Shriek would want to do. Like, I'll just text back, like, how do you normally proceed when you're investigating something like this?
Follow a man enough, and he'll show you what's important. Let a man speak enough, and he'll tell you everything you actually need to know. Shriek implying that Shriek plays that long-term waiting game of just keeping contacts, he is slow and observing. He probably not the direct interrogation method that most people end up applying, but the advantage of the Nosferatu is that no one knows you're actually in the room. And the more people forget about the Nosferatu, the better they operate.
Mm. True.
I have no
All right,
doubt
I'll.
that. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, all right, I'll just text back. Proceed how you think is best, and I'll just kind of keep an eye on things.
Okay. Dorian, as you're waiting patiently for maybe something to happen, one of the staff members kind of tugs on your arm just a little bit and says, Andrea needs you, sir.
Very well. Where is she?
In her office.
And I'll just give a nod, like thank you, and I'll head straight to her office.
All right. And Shriek is waiting, so we'll go to the office where Dorian and Andrea are. So she's waiting there, sitting at the desk. She looks like she's sorting some paper for a moment, typing something on the computer. Uh, Shortly after that, and then turns to see as you're walking in. Mr. Resner.
What is it, Andrea? I heard you need to see me.
We might have a situation, sir.
I'll go and I'll sit and like open my jacket front and sit in front of her. And just cross my fingers in front of my face while like leaning towards her on her desk. Tell me everything.
Another individual has entered into the club that doesn't seem to fit, but I can't seem to find him.
What
Security
did they look
tapes,
like?
security tapes show him walking around, but I can't seem to find him anywhere. Staff haven't seen him.
He seems to have danced in front of one of our bouncers, and bouncers seem to ignore him. Am I wrong?
Hmm.
Do you have a capture of his picture?
Yes, and she pushes a few buttons, and the security camera program comes up, and clearly enough, you do see a back footage of Shriek having danced in front of one of the bouncers.
Okay, this is a person that's known to me. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Thank you for being so quick to tell me, though.
But there's a second, sir.
Okay.
A second individual. She pulls up another still. There is another rather ugly looking hunched individual in a hoodie, sweatpants, a little bit of holes in the front. Definitely doesn't fit. Fits even less than Shriek does.
Is this someone that I recognize?
Make a... I don't know if you've actually met this individual. Make me an intelligence politics. I don't know if Dorian has met him.
Okay.
Because I'm playing.
I'm assuming
I'm being
Dallas
dumb and
Kindred would count for.
Sorry, what, Kindred?
We're in Dallas, right?
Yes.
For our city's Kindred.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Are you happy with
3?
three?
I want to make sure I know this person, so I will re-roll 3.
Oh. So that turns that into a 5. He's one of the outcasts. One of those from the Arlington domain, and you're pretty certain that this particular individual is known for being an absolute failure of a Nosferatu. Fernando. In fact, you know a little bit more. He was once coterie mates with a woman named Colette, both of which were the only remaining survivors of the Inquisition party, the takeover party of San Antonio, where they lost the grandchild of a prince. At the hands of the Anarchs. And they're the only two that made it back. You're muted.
Damn it! And this prince is who I'm thinking of, right?
The grandchild of Prince Marius Calhoun.
Yep.
Your own great-grandfather. Your distant cousin. In fact, I'm pretty sure that you've met Kyle Calhoun on a couple of occasions while he was residing here in Dallas. Presentable. If a little bit stoic, probably more so than yourself.
He definitely had an air to him. I'm going to send a text to Shriek and tell him that he is in the club somewhere, to be careful. And then, against my better judgment, I'm going to text Alex. And I'm going to see if she is with Aaron.
Is Aaron with Alex?
I would imagine at this point, they likely would have parted ways, while Alex would go and probably feed, honestly.
Yeah.
Given her situation and,
given it's been about probably an hour since all of you last saw each other. Since last episode? Little over an hour?
I remember that Alex was quite hungry and refused Aaron's help for hunting because every time they hunt together, she loses humanity.
She went off to go and take care of it herself.
Yes, she did. So, no.
Okay. Well, I was going to call him in as backup. So.
She'll text you back. Sadly, he's not with me. We parted ways for a snack.
Understood. Sorry for bothering you. And
she would make sure. Are you sure? Need something?
Might be a problem at the club. Didn't know if he would help, but was worth a shot. And I'm going to go and thank Andrea. And I'm going to go pull up the security and study it and see if I can figure out what Fernando's doing and where he would be.
It wouldn't take much because you scroll through the live footage of the video cameras of each of the hallways and rooms, kind of just scrolling through them one by one, see if you could spot him. You spot him. in the same section of the VIP floor as Shriek. Although maybe the face is a little bit muddied.
All right. Is he just standing there?
Seems to just be standing there. Seems to
wanna
be
walk
facing
back.
the door of the VIP room 6.
I'm going to walk up to that area, and given that I'm a rather large guy for a Ventru, I'm going to stand in a wide stance blocking the hallway and simply say, "What are you doing here, Fernando?"
And with other club goers kind of meandering around, walking through the hallways, as the hallways are kind of a public area as well. Are you saying this out loud, or are you kind of saying it to yourself?
Oh, I thought this was in the VIP room, so it was kind of more
No,
sparse.
not in the room, in the hallways on the floor.
Oh, he's downstairs.
No. No, there's a top floor, the second floor.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a little more the VIP rooms were more private than that.
The
That's
rooms
my misunderstanding.
themselves are private, but there's a hallway, sort of wide, sort of
Like
second
a
floor.
balcony.
Yeah, almost.
Okay.
Like a whole floor that is basically a balcony that then leads into the VIP rooms, which are on the basically on the walls.
Okay. I'm going to then I'll go near where he is, try to be away from everything, and kind of say it low under my breath. What are you doing here, Fernando?
You don't get any verbal response. You can't see him either. He's obfuscated.
Would this be the type of thing where it kind of like the same kind of technology that doorbell cameras, where I could pull it up on my phone?
I would imagine you have some kind of device like that. You are a rich son of a bitch.
Okay, I'm going to basically pull it up and look for him and see if he's around me. And try to find him again if he's moved, and basically follow around and get him to talk to me.
Make a charisma intimidation. You're basically using the cameras to stalk him. Let's see if he's intimidated by it.
You know what? And I will rouse for this because I'm making a show of force in my club.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Ooh, that's a crit. That's a 6 on a crit. Well, how about that? You hear very quietly, Resner.
It's been a long time, Fernando.
Indeed, and yet it feels like it's not been long enough.
Considering what we lost since the last time we met. Why are you away from Arlington and in my club, so far away from the domain you reside in?
Keeping an eye on the little treasure. Much like you do, I'm sure.
Yes, but when I go to other people's domain, I make sure to let them know and get permission. You know, respect is a thing that if you trample on it, very hard to get back. So what treasure are you watching and why?
And see, if I told you if it was a personal matter, would you let it be? No, probably not.
If you found me in your home, would you just let it go?
So it seems we're at a bit of a standstill here. I don't want to leave. But you want me to leave. I don't
I
want
want to
my...
know what you're doing here.
As I said, keeping an eye on a little treasure. Do I need to go into more detail?
Obviously.
Well, I'm not going to. Because you probably already know and you're just trying to stall for time.
Well, I know who's in that room. What I don't know is the why you're watching him and what you want.
What does that matter? You don't care. You just want me gone.
So see, that's... You know, for a Nosferatu, people that like information, that's extremely short-sighted a way of thinking.
Yes, and... I don't like you.
Glad we got that out of the way.
I don't have to like you. In fact, I don't have to do anything when it comes to you.
Coffee. What is... like... the... like, he's basically going into another person's domain and, like... Isn't... there are rules for this. What do they usually do for this?
Usually, what happens in regards to a person trespassing on another individual's domain, a domain that the owner of is meant to exercise, is they can call the hound, the sheriff, and see if they can't get the issue rectified if someone won't leave. Sometimes it ends in a kindred's death. Other times it doesn't. It just depends on the situation.
Well, given everything that's going down lately, I wonder how lenient Singleton will be.
Singleton has no power here.
Then maybe I'll just go ahead and contact the sheriff directly.
Go ahead.
What is this? Is the sheriff someone I've met?
His name is...
I'm looking.
Antonio Marcelli. He is under the court section of the characters. You probably...
Oh, okay. He's one of the Nos. He's the Nos guy.
He is a Nosferatu, yes.
Maybe you're banking on the simple fact that since you're of a clan, he might go lenient on you.
Assume what you want. Besides, I don't
Now-
listen to bastard children.
Oh, given the deeds that you've failed at, I'm not sure you should be throwing stones from a glass house. Again, considering what we lost because of that. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to basically be act like I'm doing something on my phone absently. And I'm going to actually text Singleton.
Okay, what do you text him?
Fernando is... basically tell him the situation that Fernando has left the area and is in my club. Without permission or rights.
In code, of course.
Yeah, I'm being smart about it.
Okay. Text is sent. You don't get any replies right away.
Now you could make things easier, Fernando. I'm basically trying to convince him. Cut the bullshit and tell me what you're doing. If we have to escalate this, it's going to be a problem for both of us.
Definitely a problem for you.
It's cute how you think that scares me.
No, I know Ventru. I know Ventru very, very well. And I honestly think that Prince Calhoun would be ashamed of you. If he were alive.
Well, it's hard to live up to a lineage like that. But at least I'm trying to.
Yeah, well. Your sire claims to be a Calhoun, but she's obviously lacking.
Well, it's in our nature to better ourselves. It's a shame of what I'm seeing is in your nature right now. Just causing problems. And wallowing, doing nothing.
I'm not
Again,
causing
what are
for
you
any
doing
problems
here?
for anyone here. Minding my own damn business.
Again, you're somewhere where you don't belong. Without permission. And interfering within
I'm not
their
feeding here.
affairs. No, if you were doing that, that would be another offense.
You mean to tell me that you're special and you get to leave Arlington and I'm not?
I have this club. I have permission from the owner of this domain.
Ah ha ha ha! So you are claiming ownership of the domain when you don't actually have rights here.
You don't understand English, do you? I have a stake in this club, and I have permission from the owner of the domain. Now, what part about that says that I own it? Again, English. Again, I thought Nosferatu were supposed to be smart, but I digress.
Some of us are the smarty pants. Some of us are the beat your ass until you're pulp. Some of us are both.
Well,
But I'm going to be kind, and I'm not going to beat your ass, and I'm not going to feed here, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm someone special just because I have a little club in the middle of downtown that someone gave you because she doesn't have any fucking sense to herself to be able to run it herself. So someone who was there at the Alamo. Fuck.
At least she did something useful.
She got herself torpid, is what it did.
Better than failing how you did. At least she accomplished something. You don't know who she saved. You don't know who got out that night.
That's still a battle that was lost. Both instances, if I remember correctly, the Battle of the Alamo back then, and our missteps in San Antonio. Both of which happened there, and I don't remember a Calhoun ever going to San Antonio. Aside from Kyle.
Kyle was a good one.
He was.
The fact that he was lost there. It's probably the only reason I don't like you. That and the way that you're acting right now is cementing that fact.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't have to like you. At least Kyle A. Calhoun learned from the best. So excuse me while I go attend to my personal business. And you can fuck off.
You can get the fuck out.
You don't hear anything more?
I'm gonna look on the phone and see where he is and see if he's left.
You see he's walking away.
I'm gonna follow. And make sure that he leaves.
He goes right back to watching that door.
Is there a way to break obfuscate?
You don't see him.
I
Unless
know,
you're
if
looking
I
at the
were to-
camera, you don't see
I'm
him.
looking at the camera. If I walked into him, would it break his obfuscate?
Subconsciously, you can't run into him.
Oh.
Because his power is forcing your mind to essentially pretend he doesn't exist. Even though on the camera you can tell, yes, he should be there. You try to walk into him, you subconsciously step out of the way.
I'm gonna text Shriek that he's being he is watching the thing as well. And then I'm going to walk over to the door. And I'm gonna knock.
Yes? Who is it? You hear from inside. It's 40 hands.
I apologize for the intrusion, but might I have a moment of your time when you are able?
I'm busy.
Please make time as soon as you can. I'll be waiting here at the door.
You hear a loud fuck. And you hear some scrambling inside. Maybe something like a wine glass got knocked over and crashed on the ground. And after a couple of minutes, you see a woman who is a bit disheveled, straightening her dress and going back about going and leaving the room, and 40 hands in an equally disheveled state, kind of quickly wiping his mouth.
I'm going to step in and shut the door before anybody can get in. Like making sure that Fernando can't sneak his way in here.
Fuck, man. Couldn't wait until I could finish.
Have a seat. We need to talk.
Look, we'd already discussed that I'm free to be here, right?
Do you know someone named Fernando?
Fernando. Doesn't quite ring a bell. What's he look like?
And we're alone in here, right?
Yeah. And
Nosferatu.
you've soundproofed all of these rooms, almost.
Yeah. Nosferatu from the Arlington area.
Arlington. Yeah, I passed through there a little bit ago. He didn't... Oh, wait, hang on. Is he that one guy that, kind of brooding, hoodies, just, they all kind of look the same, honestly.
Probably. He's outside watching the door right now.
Fuck, what?
Why would he be interested in you?
I don't know.
I'd like to insight check and see if he's still foolish.
Yeah, wits insight. Are you happy with 3?
3. No, I want to know what he's thinking, so I'm going to re-roll for 2.
Okay.
Nope. I have 3.
Okay. Maybe it's his default nature. He's a little shifty. Maybe the way he says, I don't know, at everything that you ever ask him, maybe is his default.
You know, the simple fact that you never want to honestly answer or be candid, and the fact that I'm trying to be nice and help you, and you've been causing nothing but problems for me.
Look, man, I'm just trying to get by, and I got chased out, alright? I was in Arlington, I was just minding my own business, I was having a drink, and what do you know, this guy comes up on me and starts beating the shit out of me, and yeah, I booked it, and he's kind of been chasing me ever since. What do you want me to do? Admit that I'm a fucking weakling and can't defend myself? That this guy is rolling all over me? That I'm some fucking bastard.
Nosferatu could beat you doesn't say anything. There are some of us that can, quite frankly, throw a car across the street.
How am I supposed to fucking know that? All I know is that this guy with the most deformed face that I've ever seen in my entire existence is now hunting me, basically. And I've got nowhere to go. And if I tell anybody that, I'm done. The fuck that I'm even telling you puts me in chains, man.
What did he say? Anything?
He never says anything. Just those menacing eyes. Fuck, I didn't even know his name. Now I'm at your fucking mercy. Because now you're gonna throw me out, right? Leave me to the dogs?
No, I'm going to set you up, like I said I was. I have a place. It's under our protection. If anybody messes with anybody there, they have to deal with us. I set it up for people like you.
Just half-bloods?
Most of them that live there, yes. It's the reason that I had the complex built. They had nowhere to go. No one wants to help them. The only thing that I ask is try to be useful. If you find out anything, let me know. If you can pay some kind of rent, by all means.
Man,
Money
I'm
is not a
unemployed and
problem
I got no skills.
Look at me. Do you think I need more money?
Yes?
Making money is not hard.
Everybody wants more money.
I can do that on my own. And I can frankly make money in abundances of way more than you could pay me. But when I say pay rent, I mean work with the others, watch the area. If you hear anybody doing anything, see anything out of ordinary, we don't like to be surprised by things.
Like some kind of mafia or something?
You know, I never quite thought about it, but the way that we all operate is quite mafia-esque.
So, basically, you're lackey.
You've seen the old mafia movies. They take care of their neighborhoods.
And the lackeys are the ones that get shot.
Only if they do stuff and get involved with things that they shouldn't. If anybody messes with you, it's on us. We have to protect it. It's our area.
That's a lot for one person to do. You
think
can't
I'm
be
in this
everywhere.
alone? You think I'm in this alone?
I don't see you hanging out with a bunch of friends. Our conversations have only ever been just me and you.
Okay, and I'm gonna text Shriek, meet me at my car. And I'm gonna say, okay, we're going to take a ride now. I'm gonna show you the area and introduce you to a few people.
Bro, I don't want to get more involved in this.
You can't stay here forever. This was a temporary measure while I set this up.
I'm not going back to Arlington, man.
Then you're leaving Texas?
How? With what? I've got nothing.
Then I guess you really have no choice.
So,
Most people
yeah,
in our society don't even see you as a real vampire.
And here I am trapped. Trapped like a rat.
I'm trying to help and do the best that I can. Most of us didn't ask for this life. And I get that. Some of us are dealt better hands than others. Don't let the fact that you don't really have much of a choice right now color what you can do. Don't look at what you can't do. Look at the future and what you can. Wallowing in self-pity all you're going to be doing is inviting more problems and going in a downward spiral that leads to an end. If you want to survive, figure out what you can do.
Make me a charisma persuasion.
Okay.
Are you happy with
And
3?
since I'm selling it, I will reroll. I'll spend 1 more power to reroll.
Okay.
Okay, 4. I'm happy with 4. That's better than 3.
Okay. He kind of sighs, leaning forward just a little bit, kind of running his fingers through his messy, black, curly hair. Fuck. Fuck. I think that's where we're going to switch scenes. And see what Aaron's up to. What are you up to, good Aaron?
Snacks.
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 It's snack time.
Sure the hell is.
What you going snacking on, my good friend?
Well, probably carjackers. Plenty of those out in the streets, even in the suburbs.
Looking for some ne'er-do-wells. Looking to intimidate them with some dirt you might have on them, or are you just looking to beat the shit out of them?
Well, last I checked... Let me have a look. I think, if I remember right, there was another variation for feeding for alley cats. So I'm going to look at that really fast. Strength Brawl to take blood by force or threat with Streetwise can be used to find criminals as if a vigilante. Let me look at what my stats are on that. That's only 4 dice. Alright, Strength Brawl. I guess I'm beating the shit out of them.
Alright. Go ahead and roll it.
Click, click.
Spending a willpower, or you want to succeed at a cost?
Oh, I could suffer the willpower.
Okay.
Might as well, right?
Okay, that brings it to 5. That is enough.
Great. Before I declare how much I'm taking, can I declare healing?
You're going to heal before you devour them?
Yes.
Okay. Make your healing rolls.
Alright. I'm just gonna do 1 superficial for now, because I know that's gonna bring me up to there.
Yep, you're getting hungrier. Is that... Where's that put you?
That-
4 or 5?
3.
3. Okay, manageable
Because
still.
I did feed last session. And then I'll take 2, and then I'll let them go.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Passed out in the alley by the time you're done with them?
I'm great. I only have 1 aggravated damage left to heal, and then I'm Gucci.
And even a little bit of spilt blood on the ground gives it a more convincing sort of look that you, well, beat this guy for nearly carjacking this little old lady's house.
How dare they?
How dare they?
How dare
Crumpled into a pile in this lady's driveway.
they? And do I dare roll for residence?
We can roll for resonance.
Okay. Yay. It doesn't mean a lot, but I enjoy doing it. 8!
Means it's pretty strong.
It is pretty strong. but
Let's
I
see
don't
what
think it
flavor.
Oh, yeah. R1D10. What's the vibe? 4.
Which I am not sure, but I don't know what the number roll for that is, if I'm honest.
Let
Let's
me
find out. I got a book. I
find out
got a
who gets it
book.
faster.
Da, 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 da.
Let's see who pulls it up faster. It's like a race now.
That is melancholic.
Oh, wait, they're sad.
Sad. Maybe
They're
that's why they want to
sad.
steal a car. They're
Or,
pretty.
hold on. Melancholic is also scared. So that's probably more accurate of what's going on.
Yeah, they're probably. It's there. It's a light flavor, but it's there. So you only just got their adrenaline sort of pumping and their fear as to what it is that you were going to do to them. Now, if they had been stewing in that fear, well, maybe that would be a bit tastier. But it's not like it's bland. It's just a light smattering of fear
Wonderful.
instead of
As
being
always,
well flavored.
It's a little bit of dread in them, seeing that they were caught and shook about. As always, of course, I take whatever cash they have on hand.
Mm.
I'm a good guy. Pocket that little bit of change. From
Alright.
here.
From there, what you doing?
Well, I ain't been called on, but not like anyone can necessarily know how to call on me. So let's start with this. Think I'm gonna go ahead and pay Gerard a visit.
Pay Gerard a visit. Generally can be found at a decent club.
This good old bar that he goes to and takes care of.
Mm-hmm.
He's an easier man to find.
It's pretty easy to find you when you're in the same place a lot.
It sure
Probably his logic too, in that lots of people come to him for things, so the easiest thing to do is just to wait and see who comes.
Which I'm sure he's not too happy to see me, but I like to think I'm growing on him a bit.
You see a bit of a grumbly look scroll across his very wrinkly face. Winters.
Howdy, Gerard.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Fine. What's up, big man?
Oh, nothing much. Just been busy.
Same old, same old. Is that how Texans say it?
You got it. Same old, same old.
I'm acclimating.
Well,
To what do I owe this pleasure?
a couple things, I guess. I'm trying to calmed down after a little rendezvous about a week ago.
Rendezvous about a week ago.
They told me you was there.
You mean the hospital thing?
Hmm.
I heard about that man that exploded. Shame that. Could have been
Yeah,
useful.
real shame.
Yeah, well. I figure that Singleton knows what he's doing. If there's anything to find out of the wreckage, he'll find it. Besides,
Sure would.
you just need only ask, and I can get Luca down here. Luca's an expert in technology.
Wish I had that benefit.
Yeah, well. Big tech gurus like him can't be bothered with just any old thing.
No. Bit of a wild question.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago, you actually brought Luca up as well.
Yeah?
You mentioned he might be able to get in contact with a relative of mine.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'll take you up on that offer.
Mm. Well, last I heard, she was pretty tied up in Edmonton, but if you really want, I can see if she's available. I don't know that she'd be available for more than a phone call.
We'll find out. Just, I don't know. No,
Do they still charge long distance between Canada and U.S.?
I'm not too worried about that.
No, that's an
rather than-
international call. Never mind.
Yeah, rather than a, it's a little embarrassing, but rather than that, you said before you didn't have her number, but if that's changed, then you think you could do me a huge favor and give her a call in my stead, see if we can arrange something?
Well, it's not hard for me to get in contact with Luca, because I know where his farm is. Well, ranch. It's the ranch that the Cowboys practice on. I just go to the ranch and see if he's there, and if he's not, then just wait until he is. He's there pretty regularly. Every couple of weeks or so.
Let's do that.
It's not like I could exactly call him, because Texas to Edmonton is an international call, and I don't exactly have the cash to splurge on that.
Slow down on that drink there, partner. No, it'd probably work out better that way. I'm not like the kids. I'm a little technologically illiterate.
And they say that about old folks like me. You ain't that old.
I'm old-fashioned enough.
Alright.
We, folks like me tend to not do so well with guest broadcasts and whatnot.
Are you one of them who gets a little too close to the dark?
He just gives him a wink.
I've known one of those. Got in a fight with him, actually. Lost a good friend.
Unsurprisingly, I did hear about it.
What, me losing a friend, or are you talking about the...
Fighting with the... swinging at shadows bit.
Oh,
I didn't hear about the other part.
yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was wondering... Maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't. She thought it was worth it. Anyway. That's years ago.
Aaron just nods a little bit soulfully and is like, I think I might understand a little bit more than you think. But, yeah.
Well, I considered her a friend. I don't know that she considered me much of one.
Ain't that always the case?
Yeah, she was...
Ha, women.
More like she was an old fart who was set in her ways. You know how old gangrel get.
Not too personally.
Really? You're not too familiar with gangrel?
Only met a few, just in the local area. Passing. In truth, I don't even got names, so.
They're a little few and far between here in Dallas. But you're sooner to find more of them down in San Antonio and Austin. From what I hear.
Those are, those rebel cities, aren't they?
That indeed.
Yeah, I'm not too particularly interested in that. About here. I guess at this point I'm just trying to be more acquainted with folks. Try and reconnect.
With some old family in Canada.
Not just family, but I guess finding friends as well.
Well, ain't a whole lot that Artemis can do around here. She's one of them rebels.
He just raises his eyebrows and is like, shit.
Well, more like, I guess on the fence. I'm not entirely sure about these days. But when I last saw her...
Folks can do that.
Well, the whole reason she was even on the fence in the first place is because her old man's... Well, he's part of the... Well, organization, I guess you'd call it in polite company. I don't know. Even he's a little off the rails. Well, that one you don't want to tussle with.
Don't plan to.
I have no interest in ever fighting Todd Reagan.
This is the second time you've spoken that name, and won't lie, you put a little bit of venom in it each time.
Yeah. Because he's a frightening son of a bitch. Even when he's half the man. Literally, half the man, and he could still beat the shit out of you.
It's not a pleasant thought.
He's not a pleasant individual.
Considering our own tiny tyrant. In all honesty, don't even think it takes much of a man at all to really round up a city.
No,
In
that's
any
the blood
regard.
that fuels you.
Yeah. Look, Gerard,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not particularly fond of me. Your first impression of me, outright.
Call it a little bit
Understand.
of a prejudice, I guess. Your types tend to be like mine. Tend to get a little bit punchy.
I ain't unknowing of this.
So, my last encounter kind of really solidifying that in my mind, so maybe that's a little bit of me being the old dog.
By all means, I think you have a right to it. My point getting across is, I respect you. And I respect your, I guess, community you created. You
I
set
didn't
yourself
create
up.
it. It created itself. It just needed a little organizing.
You stepped up.
I didn't see anybody else doing anything.
Hey, rather than making problems for you, I guess I'd like to be a bit mindful on your part.
A bit mindful. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Helpful.
Helpful. Helpful. Well, we can always use more helpful.
I'd agree.
So how do you think about being helpful? What's your plan with that?
Let's start with this. You were there that night
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital.
That's right.
Anyone happen to tell you anything about what was found there? Who those
Inside,
folks were?
I didn't much step inside.
No one kept you on the upbeat? No one's keeping you upriver?
I was meant to be lookout. I was instructed to be lookout. And so lookout I did. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder what the hell is going on down there that got everybody so up and up. And every little bit of me tells me that whatever's down there better be damn important if the Second Inquisition's going after it. Because the impression I got, I don't know about you, was that if that place got overrun with FBI and hunters and whoever else the fuck it got overrun, well, that's it. Ain't gonna be nothing left.
In Arlington or the city?
The city.
That's quite a boastful statement.
Well,
Huh.
when things like that happen, people get mouthy. And rumor is, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Well,
News
you know, I
coverage
might.
was very hush, which was very nice. I'd like to keep that very under wraps. Kudos to whoever did that. But, yeah, it could have been bad. And I don't know about you, but I don't want some kind of apocalyptic sort of nonsense happening again in a city in which I reside.
Agreeable. Some context. You said you were curious. We feed into that a bit. Does Leopold mean anything to you?
That's a good question. Does that mean anything to him?
Please say yes. Aaron's got a limited vocabulary. He's a country boy.
You mean like the radical Catholic society that's recently gone hunter and gone apeshit all over Europe?
Yeah, well, apparently they're moving into the U.S. Howdy ho.
Son of a bitch.
That old shit show was that. They caught wind. Here.
You're fucking with me.
I'm not. What?
Is Singleton aware of that?
Pretty well aware. Said he got everything else in the cleanup handled, so trusting him and his position in that, but
I heard a rumor it was military or something.
what was that too?
Two?
Yeah, the guy had a whole bunch of vans, had some folks in some armor, guns,
The fuck is this city going to?
dragging rounds.
Dragon rounds.
Took one to the face.
And you lived to tell the tale? You son of a bitch. You're fucking lying to me.
Well, I still got a hole in my skull, but we figured I'd cover it up.
You're a lying motherfucker. I don't believe you.
I'm not lying. Fortunately, a lot of the uproar is very much a result of altercation between myself and
And an exploding van.
yeah. Wait, we knocked.
Oh,
And,
you know what? I was on lookout. I saw that happening.
I was about to ask.
Well, thankfully, I was far enough away from that explosion that I didn't actually turn tail and run.
Yeah.
I'm not that big of a bitch.
It's a bit of a messy encounter.
Saw you running, though.
Considering I almost was turned to dust right inside that there vehicle.
I saw you running for about a mile. Helps when you can see in the dark. His eyes flashed solid black for a moment.
You son of a bitch. You got your little secrets, don't you?
I got my ways.
Well, in any case, that's our news. We had one more straggler. We updated Singleton about. Said he'd have it covered. Figured out a doctor of some kind. But if anything comes up, I know this bar is your pride and joy, and all kinds of folks filter through here.
Hate for something to happen to it. He looks at you coyly.
I bet I do you solid.
What kind of solid you thinking?
You ever find yourself in trouble of any kind? Hit me up. I'll see what I can do.
How would I go about doing that when you're technologically impaired?
I'm pretty easy to find. I know you got Alex. I know you got Alex's number there, so.
Yeah.
Admittedly, she got me on a short leash.
Alessandra on a short leash.
That helps when I want it.
I've never known any Alessandra that got a short leash. I'll make sure that next time that Lucas swings by, he passes along a message to Artemis to send word, I guess.
I'd really appreciate that.
Y'all would become pen pals or some shit. It's the only way you're going to be able to communicate. The old-fashioned way. Stamp in the mail.
Well, got plenty of practice with that. I have one more question.
Shoot.
Said I wasn't too familiar with the gangrel around here.
Hmm.
Do you know anyone?
Gangrel?
You seem to speak pretty highly of them.
Yeah,
There might be some common ground.
I respect them. Respect them for the down-to-earth sort of types. Keep it real. Tell you like it is. Won't bullshit you.
Sounds like my kind of people too.
The only one I know of is Terry Perkins. She's coterie mate with Sister Charity.
Darren thinks about it and he's like, I don't think I ever met either of them. This, they got some sort of, domain, I guess.
Well, what little part of the Arlington domain that they have is this little church up on a hill. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's out in the sticks, but it's about as the sticks as Arlington gets.
I'll consider paying them a visit.
Well, your buddy Shriek's pretty familiar with them.
You don't say. Alright then.
I say he visits them on the regular, from what I hear. Maybe he's actually going to church.
That'd be one hell of a sight.
That kid in church would make me laugh.
I'm sure sure he's got all kinds of sins to profess.
I don't even want to know. I am not a priest. I'm not paid for that shit.
Understandable. And I agree. Yeah. Go ahead and keep you upstream moving forward.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
it's about the best we can do if things don't start improving with this whole food shortage thing, though. There's some alleviation with Danny and Monty not actually in the picture right now. But not doing a lot. And what's this I hear about? Some kind of developments, I think, that are meant to be popping up to spur in tourists or some shit.
oh yeah. Mr. Lesner's it's got a few club ideas moving about. Bar, family activities, recreational sites, all kinds of little projects going back and forth. Biggest thing for you to look out for. Maybe I might leeway, some of these folks to you, so you can get a little bit of insider. His apartment complex. He's setting up.
Yeah, I heard it went up near construction on it finished within a week. Shit must have been going all night.
More or less.
In fact, some of the thin bloods in Cadiff, I know, are holed up there.
So you already got your insiders.
Well, I know them. They're friendly, for now.
Yeah, for now.
For now. Till this whole food situation gets sorted, then we'll see.
Well, the idea at this point is just trying to get folks to move on in, be involved. It's kind of hard out here in the suburbs, but
Yeah,
I'll keep you posted.
especially because a lot of the suburbs is flat. Single family homes that all look the same. All the same neighborhoods, copy pasted everywhere else. It's kind of boring. But what can you do? It's not like this city was planned like this.
To be fair, you hardly look like you're a city folk.
No, I'm not. I'd rather be out there in the wild. Hunting hogs or something.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I even stick around Luca's ranch at this point.
Odd question, but anyone ever set you up with a game license this season?
What the fuck would I need a game license for?
Go hunt.
I knew that already.
Yeah, well, I guess off-grid is probably better in any stance. You remind me of my pa in some odd ways.
Was he a game hunter too?
A kind.
A kind? What's
Preferred
that
to
supposed to
hunt
mean?
He preferred to hunt predators and whatnot.
We're talking like lions? Pumas? Elephants?
He's done
Elephants.
that too.
Wait, elephants aren't predators. Leaf eaters.
But he preferred to hunt normal game.
Oh, okay, like deer and the
Yeah.
deer.
Just thought reminded me. You just kind of reminded me of him for a sec.
Yeah, well, can't go wrong with a deer.
No, you can't. Yep. I'm gonna head on out. I appreciate word of mouth and your hospitality.
Yeah, it might take a couple weeks because Luca he only comes around like 1 week out of the month. But let's see what I can do for you.
It's appreciated. Really.
Yeah, well, don't thank me yet. She might say fuck off. And I'll have to pass along that message to you.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, well.
He just gives a firm grip on Gerard's shoulder, not necessarily harmful, but more like friendly.
He does the same to you. Kind of gives you a solid brouhaha pat on your shoulder. Lets you know, yeah, yeah, man, yeah,
Like,
man.
just-
I can beat you up if I wanted to, but I like you instead.
Aw, he warmed up. Aaron's happy.
But he won't actually say it.
No, of
gives
course
you that-
not. He's got to be tsundere to the end.
That friendly but strong brouhaha pat.
Yeah. Aaron just chuckles and he's gonna dip his head respectfully. Doesn't have his hat or jacket anymore. He's just Aaron. Uniconically, Aaron.
By the way, whatever happened to your hat?
Burned up.
Oh, that's a shame. Jacket too?
Sad nodding.
Try plaid.
I'll consider it.
Maybe one day I'll go leather. Hey, who am I kidding?
And Aaron's just gonna take his leave at that. A polite wave to Gerard and be on his way.
Alright. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, everyone, and we'll be back to see what our vampires get up to next. So, be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hand. We had left Aaron saying goodbye to a good friend, well, now good friend, possibly, in the wonderful brouhaha of Gerard Norris. Leaving and making his way to go and find his coterie mates. In the meantime, Dorian was escorting the Thin Blood, called 40 Hands, down to a car where he and Shriek would escort this man to the Arlington domain and get him set up at the new and developed apartment complex building that he had constructed in this particular region of the domain in rather quick amount of time. So, Shriek, it goes without saying that 40 went upon you entering the car with him was not expecting to see you. You were a new
I was
face.
actually going. I was actually going to go out to the car and open the front and back door and give him the choice of which seat he would like to get into, so that Shriek could actually get into the car without him knowing if he wishes.
Well, since obfuscate only lasts for a scene, he would eventually
Oh,
obfuscate
okay.
anyway.
Okay. Never
I
mind. My
will.
bad.
You know what? I will make it. Might I suggest a fair route? I will do another rouse for this scene to end up continuing the obfuscate into the next scene.
Okay.
Does that sound like a fair compromise?
Sounds fair. Go ahead and rouse.
I am back to Hunger 3.
Hunger 3. That grumble in your stomach is a little louder again, much as it was earlier. But all in good fun to remain invisible from the guest in the back seat, as Dorian is driving himself from the club downtown in Dallas to the little suburb of Arlington, where everything is a little less about the skyscrapers and a little bit more about the single or two-story homes of all the same color, of all the same roofing, of all the same yard in this barren grass of Dallas, Texas. And so, upon arriving, Dorian, you see that your new friend with the tousled hair and the not so well fitting frayed jacket just sitting there a little uncomfortably, kind of in silence for most of the trip, just kind of watching out the window as the rest of the world goes by.
I think you'll get on with some of them. The guys living there so far is Blaine. I think there's Jimmy and Frankie are another two. And another lady that she doesn't really make herself known. I think her name was Ivy.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes, I guess. I don't know what you want me to say or anything. I mean, should I say anything? Should I do anything?
Look. Not everything is all bad. Things could be worse. Just do what anybody else would do if someone's trying to help them and say thank you. That's all you need to do tonight. If you, like I said, talk to the other guys, see how we've been treating them. Try to get the lay of the land, see what you can do. No one is useless.
Except for me.
Saying that about yourself is just giving up. Everybody can do something. I'm not saying you're going to change the world, but I highly doubt there is nothing that you can do.
Well, I haven't exactly had the lifespan of some other people to really know what I'm good at. I mean, hell, I'm 18.
You're a kid. You haven't even, like, even if you were still human, wouldn't know what the hell you were going to do with the rest of your life. Like I said, I'm going to introduce you some people. Watch what they do. Talk to them. Try to figure out a place. Try to figure out something you can do. I'm not expecting you to change this domain. I'm not expecting you to, you know, throw yourself on the sword for me. What I expect you, if there's something you can do it. If there's something you find out, let us know. Just try to survive.
That's what I've been doing?
Like I said, I can't change the circumstances that brought you to this. But I'm doing what I can to make this domain a better place. Like it or not, we're all here for a reason.
Yeah.
Even me.
Doubt it.
You look and see the blue blood. You see someone that you think is better than everyone else. Do you think that we're all created equal?
Obviously not. Because I wasn't exactly made with, ivory cufflinks on his arms.
Hmm. Well, you'll learn that sometimes there are how things are, and then there's how things will be up here. And you can't always assume that they're the same.
I don't even know what the fuck you mean by that.
That's because you're young. Eventually you will.
Great. Another one of those, I'll tell you when you're older, kid.
Okay, here, how about I boil it down to an old saying. You ever hear that looks can be deceiving? Don't trust what you see.
Okay.
That goes for how people look and act, too.
Oh, so
You
always
don't...
be watching my back because somebody's out to stab me.
No, you can't always take what you see at face value. You don't judge a book by its cover.
Because people got ulterior motives, right?
They can.
Great.
What you see isn't always truth. You gotta pay attention to these things.
Fine, fantastic. Alright, so who are we meeting them, like, here at the car or up at
No,
some...
we're gonna take and, we'll get you into an apartment. I'll
And you
introduce
could
you
just
around.
do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to sign a lease or anything?
Paperwork's easy.
Because I don't exactly want my name on paperwork.
Doesn't have to be your name.
If you're gonna fudge papers, why go to that length? I'm
Because you
nobody.
have to...
I haven't done
You have...
anything for you to like me that way.
I could give you many grandiose reasons of why I'm being altruistic. I don't know why I'm doing it myself sometimes, but I think it's just to keep the human part of me human.
Or don't judge a book by its cover and think that this is some kind of ruse or some kind of noose around my neck. I don't know which one that is. I don't know you.
Now you're being smart. But come on, it's time for you to meet the people.
Fuck. Fine.
And I'll take them and look for, most likely Blaine's going to be probably home finding, but I don't know if Jimmy or Frankie are around.
Actually, you do see Blaine is currently standing in his own doorway with someone else in the doorway as well. A Mr. Kane Tenebris. I won't ask again. You hear Kane say to Blaine, "Where are they?" And Blaine just shrugs and says, "I don't know, man. They haven't been back to their apartment since, I don't know, a week ago? Am I really supposed to be keeping after every little kid in his goddamn domain? That's not my job."
I'm going to walk up. Mr. Tenebris.
Mr. Resner.
Blaine, I was looking for you. I want to introduce you to someone. Could you take him inside and introduce yourself? I'd like to have a word with Mr. Tenebris alone.
Great. Aaron, it's about that time that you're also arriving on the scene. And Blaine takes the young 40 hands into the house very, very awkwardly, leaving the door open, of course, but to invite you all in if you want to, but leaving Dorian and the invisible Shriek and possibly Aaron coming up the stairs to talk with Kane.
Oh, Mr. Tenebris, anything that you would ask of my tenants, I would say you should ask of me first.
You were not here.
Apologies, and I'll fish out a card. I know that you probably suffer from the same addiction as another of my coterie, but I'm sure you could have someone get in contact with me should you need me.
Figured this was the easiest way to find out what I need to know.
What is it that you need to know, sir?
A couple of friends of mine went missing. I want to know where they are, or why. Simple enough.
What were their names?
Danny and Monty. Thin Bloods. I'm sure you know them.
And they were residents here and I knew them?
Yes.
Am I aware of what happened? Did Alex ever tell everybody?
I think we determined that she had been vague about it, but not truly forthcoming. Only to
Yeah,
Shriek, maybe? Or maybe to Aaron? I'm not sure.
Shriek's aware.
But to your knowledge, Shriek is not present.
But to be clear, Coffee, just in case, because I am currently standing there as I'm following
Yes.
40 hands, and now I see this, right?
Yes.
So he doesn't know anything, and it's probably best. He can't lie if he legitimately doesn't know, so I'm not going to put him in a position where he has to lie. So I was about to tell him, and then I'm thinking about it's like, no, if he legitimately doesn't know, he can't be lying about it, so...
I thank you for bringing this to my attention. I did not know that they were missing. I will look into this. If I should find out anything, I will let you know.
Nobody seems to know anything, Mr. Esner.
Well,
Everyone who was the last to see them knows nothing. Somebody's lying. And it better damn well not be you.
I don't lie, Mr. Tenebris.
That's a fucking lie.
If I get to the point where I have to lie, then I've already lost.
How very true of you.
The one good thing about being who I am, I may not know everything, but I do know who does in this domain. And I will be looking into this. No one else is looking out for these people. Most of them don't even consider them one of us. Since you had friends among them, I think you can at least see that the fact that looking over this place and building it in the first place means that I care more than most. So I would ask for the smallest amount of trust that I will be looking into this and find out what I can.
Do you actually mean that, Dorian?
Yes. I did not. I didn't know about this, and he very much takes this as a point of pride. This is his place. These people are under his protection, and him and Aaron, even though they don't like each other, both promise to protect this place and the people in it.
Okay.
Granted, he would have to pay Aaron for his services if that would came for something equal, but that is a transaction that he is willing to make.
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma persuasion.
Okay. All right.
You could willpower, or you can succeed at a cost.
Crafty son of a bitch. What's the cost?
Hold on. I have a thing. I have the coterie. I have a third option, which is my coterie merits, which, if we recall correctly, the coterie merits for La Sombra is that we can turn one of those into critical. Let me specify it. Once per session, add 2 successes to a test. The outcome is treated as a messy crit. That's a third option.
Okay, what's your pitch, Mr. Storyteller?
You will succeed at convincing him that you will indeed find out who, what, why, where, and how the two Thin Bloods went missing. But Dr. Keller gets a leg up on you all.
Fuck that. Do I re-roll? That would put me at negative for when we go to sleep. 1. Or do I take the messy critical?
Or do you take the messy crit? And do you risk a messy crit in front of our La Sombra?
He's got another La Sombra behind him. Walking up the stairs.
He doesn't know that. Not yet.
All right,
anyway.
I'm going to re-roll 3 dice.
Re-roll 3 dice.
I'm going to save that once per session thing for something important, because like if he gets pissed off and slugs me, I don't care. Oh, 4 successes.
4. Okay. He looks you square in the eyes. Dorian. And you swear that those eyes are so sunken in that he looks like an old vampire. But if you remember correctly, Cain Tenebris isn't much older than you are. This man isn't gonna believe you whether you tell him the truth or not. But it is enough for him to stay his hand, maybe. Fine. Do your stupid investigation. I'm gonna be doing one of my own.
I wish you the best of luck. Should you find out anything, please let me know so I have more to go on.
No. As soon as I find the bastard, he's dead.
I don't care. That is not what I asked. I don't want to be looking into something that has already been solved.
That isn't my problem. And he turns to walk away.
After he walks away, I'm just going to still a Sombra. So short-tempered.
Very fucking funny. Aaron coming up the stairs.
Maybe funny, but not wrong. Good evening, Mr. Winters.
Evening. Mr. Resner, what the hell did Tenebris want?
2 of my tenants went missing. I gotta find out why. They were friends of his, apparently. And I did not know they were missing. If you remember when we built this place, me and you swore something. Which is another reason I'm trying to find you earlier tonight. we may have a problem hunting one of them. Are you aware of a Nosferatu named shit, what was his name?
Fernando Steele.
Fernando. Fernando.
I thought you were gonna say had more humans on our cases. No, I never met some guy named Fernando. Why?
Oh, he's an asshole, bit of a fuck up in the Nosfer community. He's watching our newest tenant that's going to be moving in here. If you want to come inside and meet him. He's a young kid, very green.
Alright. I'll give him good old boot camp lecture. Let's go ahead and meet the guy.
Thank you, Mr. Winters. And I'll put my hands in my pocket and walk into the apartment. And knock as I walk in.
I follow behind, not saying a word. Very unusual characteristic for Shriek.
The normal trick is getting him to shut up.
Aaron looks around. His eyes just kind of like peer around the emptiness of this particular apartment. And it's probably only like it's probably like the guy apartment situation. Brand new bachelor. Nothing is really set up. There's like a single camping chair in the middle of the living room in front of a
Don't you
TV on the floor.
disrespect that camping chair.
Now, this is a classic bachelor trope. His coffee table, since he works in construction, is probably actually one of the giant wooden wire spools.
Oh my god.
Wait. Let me guess. What little of a TV he has is currently propped up on cinder block and 2x4 shelving.
Yep.
Yep.
All things that he got from.
I've lived there.
All things. This is all shit that he has gotten from the job site.
I've lived there.
Well, at least he ain't in the walls.
Yet.
Yeah.
So wait, you're walking into Blaine's apartment? That's the part I didn't hear?
Yeah, I walked in, knocked, and Aaron and Shriek were following.
Yeah.
Okay. And there is this very, very little, very awkward, sort of silent and small talk that has been going on for a brief moment.
I'm gonna walk in and just look at Blaine. I apologize for the suddenness. I figured you wouldn't mind if I handled Mr. Tenebris.
He's gonna be coming around here more, isn't he? Blaine says.
I'm going to try to solve the problem so he doesn't. But if he does, please keep me in contact if he's becoming a problem.
It's not that. It's that he's gonna start... He's probably gonna start chopping blocks.
Oh, he's looking for two of his friends.
He's also the apprentice of the Scourge, so he kind of has her sanction to do whatever he wants. He wants to get rid of us, he can. Nothing's stopping him.
There still has to be cause and order.
Not for Thin Bloods, maybe for Catives. Thin Bloods can just disappear if they wanted to.
Well,
The rest of the court would be looking at him like he's mowing the lawn. Forty kind of looks up from the couch. Wait, you mean he can do that?
Remember when I said that most don't even look at you as part of our kind?
Yeah, I knew that much, but if he could just come in here, snatch somebody, take off with them, kill them if he wanted to, and then not get any consequences for it, the fuck, man?
Like I said, I'm going to do what I can. I can be a pain in the ass when I want to be. But, Blaine,
Hmm.
he calls himself 40 Hands. I don't know what his real name is. Maybe you can get that out of him eventually. But he's going to be one of our newest tenants. He's pretty new at all of this.
All right.
I figured maybe you can introduce him to the others, and if you need anything, let me know.
What we
I'll sort
need
out
is
all the paperwork.
more of a food supply.
I'm working on bringing that in. I've already opened up a couple of new places, and I've got some public works in them
Look,
to
man,
draw in people to stay.
I get that. I understand that. That it's in the works. And you're one guy with a lot of money, but even that dries up. I get it.
I can't just order Domino's. I'm drawing them in as fast as I can. It's a slow burn, but things will get better.
Not before they get worse.
Well, like it or not, we're all on this ship.
People are gonna start going after each other's throats. If they haven't already.
Mr. Risner would end up hearing a single word whispered in his ear. Lead.
The simple matter of the fact is, we gotta stick together. The more we stick together, the easier it is going to get through this. I'm going to be doing everything that I can, and I need you guys to do the same.
We're barely keeping it together, just keeping fed. I don't know how much more you can. I'm not much sure how much more of a help we can be.
Like I always said, do what you can. If you find out anything, information is power. Let us know. If you have concerns, let us know. Don't wait till there's actually everything's on fire. We're trying to work together to get through this. We're all in the same boat here. Some of us just have a nicer cabin.
I don't know if you've noticed, but everything's already on fire. Kind of a bad metaphor.
It could be more on fire.
How?
I might insert my 2 cents here. Mr. Ellis, nice to see you again.
Hi.
But the worst fire is that you don't take any sort of personal initiative to start building those resources. You got shelter, you got, quite frankly, a guard dog. Both myself and Mr. Resner. Mr. Resner has you politically protected under terms of domain. Not myself. I'll keep the big guys off of you. All of you. That's more than most could ask for. Biggest thing you could do for yourselves right now. You got all. The world's your oyster. Start picking up the pieces and figuring out what little opportunities you got. In the meantime, Mr. Resner has been busting his ass, making sure that you have vet everything you need, and then some. Blood is coming in. And it's coming in with the clinic, it's coming in with the club, it's coming in 40 other fucking ways. Pull it together. Second, most imperatively, it's the way that it could be worse. The way that it might be worse is a purge. You have a personal responsibility to that. Make sure it don't happen. Listen to Mr. Resner. Follow his orders, bit for bit. You give him what he asks for, regularly, without any other fucking complaints or whining. He will be sure to make sure that you're fed. So, Mr. Resner, I think now would be the proper time to demonstrate. He looks over to 40 hands. Just nods his head. You're the new kid?
Yeah.
What do you do? What are you good at?
Nothing.
You're good at something. What's your fucking hobbies? What's your job?
I don't have a job. And hobbies are video games?
Do you know technology?
I guess if you mean knowing how to install games on computers.
Great, now you have a job. Find a niche. Make it yours. There's plenty of folks who can't figure out the technical shit, and you have a world of eternity to figure it out.
Okay.
Use it to your advantage. That's the thing. Even stupid shit, there's always got to be some sort of customer base that wants something from it. Use it.
Weird.
In any case, Mr. Resner, my apologies, I'll let you get back to it. Aaron just steps back a bit.
Mr. Winters is right. I tried to avoid bringing up the worst of what could happen, but those who have been around long enough know that it wouldn't be the first time that it happened either. Some people are just looking for an excuse. There's a reason that all of us are put here. Most of us are unwanted, have failed in some way, or are generally disliked by someone higher above them. Most wouldn't care if we left forever. That's why we need to stick together.
You're talking about 40 hands kind of pipes up a little bit. Are you talking about resisting?
I'm talking about keeping each other safe. Don't give them an excuse. If you see people causing problems, let us know so that we can handle them before it gets up the chain and becomes someone else's problem. If we don't give them an excuse...
But you're also telling us to report stuff to you, being the higher up. So you're like the manager or something? And then you have a manager and they have a manager, sort of a deal?
There's always someone above someone else. We have a little slice of territory in this domain. There's someone that owns this domain. Then there's someone above them that owns everything. They own the whole city. And above them, there's people that own the whole country. Everybody has to answer to somebody.
Sounds like a lot of rules to me.
There's always going to be rules. People in charge use rules to keep others in place. Like I said, we didn't ask for this, and some of us got a better hand than others. But we're all in the same game. Learn the game.
Then why
Learn how to
not?
play.
Then why not tell them that?
Tell them what? Sorry, I don't understand what he's saying.
Why not tell them that they can go to hell with their rules?
Because that's how you get a purge, kid. That's how you get all the old motherfuckers so fucking pissed that they decide that you are no longer allowed to exist.
Who are they
Not
to
just
fucking
you.
decide that?
Not just you, but everyone else that you know you're involved with. They
You're
wipe your
young.
memory from this earth.
You're young. You haven't been with this life for that long. Think of your old life. Did you always like what the government did? What happens if you rebelled against the government, took up arms against them, didn't do what they say?
Get arrested.
Thrown in jail, fucked around enough, and you died. Well, that's the exact same thing we have here, except they have tons of secrecy that they have to keep. And it's easier to dispose of pains in the ass rather than house them in a prison. There's an old saying that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but there's a different saying that I think it comes out of China that the nail that sticks up gets hammered first. We don't want that to fall down on us. What we want to do is not be a problem. Which is why I'm working to make this place better. Make it easier for us to survive. Make it so that there aren't the same problems that would cause us all to die. Now, if you like living, you can join the rest of us. Figure out a way to survive. Figure out a way to make yourself useful. Hell, I heard something interesting. All of MIT, all their classes are for free online. You could get your degree. You have all the time in the world, as long as you don't get yourself killed. So think about
So
what
it's
you
follow
want to
the
do.
rules or you're dead.
It's follow the rules or get the consequences. It's always been that way, whether you are human or joining this life. If you don't like those rules, get high enough to change them yourself. That takes time, that takes influence, that takes power. Whining about it's not going to do anything, and raging against it's going to get you killed.
Great.
Bide your time and figure out what you want.
Until then, I'm a lapdog. And not even that. Because I'm a half-blood.
Do you see Blaine crying, whining? How long have you been in this life, Blaine?
15 odd years, give or take. But at least I'm not a thin blood.
I thought Blaine was a thin blood like the rest of them.
Nope, he's caitiff.
He's caitiff?
He's at least a full vampire. He has that
That was
privilege.
nice.
No, he's... At least I don't have that raw end of the deal.
The question is, 40, is what do you want? Do you want to survive or not?
That's all I've been trying to do.
And like I said before, saying that you can do anything, sitting there complaining, or just worrying about what you don't have is giving up. Figure out what you do have. Figure out what you can do. Make that work for you. Make yourself useful. The more useful you are, the more people need you. The more people need you, the harder it is for you to go away.
Blaine speaks up. Don't worry. I'll put him to work, boss.
Thank you, Blaine. Now, if you guys need anything or hear anything, you know how to get in contact with me. I'll
If and
sort out all
when.
the paperwork. And I'll walk over and I'll shake both their hands.
And they'll both shake your hands.
Have a good night, gentlemen. Thank you again, Mr. Winters. And I'll like extend my arm so that he may leave first if he wants.
I will do so.
And I'll walk out, leaving a wide berth, figuring that Shriek is still with us.
Oh, he is. But he's got a job to do.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll walk out, shutting the door behind me. If I'll give Shriek enough time to get out if he wants to, but if he wants to stay there, I'm letting Shriek do. I'm letting Shriek.
Because you just heard this at Thin Blood do a whole bunch of Anarch talking just now. And, yeah, that might rub Shriek the wrong way a little bit.
Well, as soon as Dorian and Aaron are out the door, Shriek, you're greeted by Blaine just full on whacking 40 in the face, throwing him to the ground. You're gonna do exactly what I fucking say, and you're going to like it, pet, because otherwise you ain't gonna survive.
I'm going to let this play out just a bit. I want to hear this.
And what you get is that essentially Blaine is putting 40 under thumb, turning him into a pet, more or less, turning him into his pet project to be his lapdog, as he so kindly put it. Because very rarely does a caitiff actually get the leg up on someone.
Yeah. And I think it's at that point he'll probably hear, as I drop off, you skate standing behind him. A little bit of a growl at that point. Oh, oh, first day in. Oh, have to settle it. Pecking order. That is so cute, Blaine. That is so cute.
What are you still doing here?
Still doing here. Did he accidentally imply that he knew I was here this whole time?
What's insight?
Because if he did, he wouldn't be doing this. Insight. We'll do the wits insight. I like the wits insight. I like it better when it rolls well. That's 2 successes. I'll take it.
And you're gonna leave it at that?
For now. For now.
There's the possibility he knew. You don't know what kind of powers he's holding.
Fair. He is Caitiff.
Caitiff tend to be a
mixed bag.
A mixed bag. Maybe a little bit of a blended smoothie when it comes to the kindred blood.
Blaine, you managed to end up doing such a good job. And now you got a new roomie, and suddenly this happens? I would have thought, given your history, you would have appreciated somebody coming on up. Oh, don't get it wrong. When I hear that kind of talk that he was just spouting, I feel the need myself.
You know, a little bit of an understanding that kind of talk isn't tolerated.
Of course not. But who does he belong to?
That's a good question.
Last time I checked, he belongs to Resner. And if Resner finds out that you're breaking his toys right out of as soon as he drops them off, when he put them in your loving care, after you work so hard, it's just not right. He'll lose everything. You're lucky, though. I keep secrets as well as sell them. Wondering what the stock is on this one. Ooh!
If you want to tell Resner, that's up to you. I don't give a shit.
Now, why not? This kind of thing is how we get purges. Marty, you ended up saying you heard about purges, right? Well, thus far you haven't talked to anybody who was actually in one. Must be your lucky day.
Oh, okay. So you were there. Okay. Great.
Yeah. I think the one I remember most is a little old-fashioned. Piece of bar jammed up the backside and just out and under the jaw. Keep them from sliding down. Kept bound there for hours with mouth plugged so they couldn't make any screaming sounds, and all they had to do was stare to the horizon, watch the pretty colors. And you get to watch that. So adorable, really. You know, when somebody starts trying to shift their legs to peel out their own pelvis to get away. Funny part about the pelvis, it's more of a ring. You see, when you do that, unless you're willing to go through bone, and that's a lot of bone to go through, you're not going anywhere. Ribs I could have handled. Pelvis, not so much. And the way you're talking, what did Resner just say? We're in this together.
We are in this together.
It
I'm just showing the
seems
little
like-
anarchist place.
Is that what he is?
Certainly sounded like
anarch.
one to me.
Is that what you are, 40? Little anarch?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I need you to understand something.
Just because
When
your
he bring-
sire babied you doesn't mean that I have to do the same with people in my charge.
Really? You're supposed to end up taking care of him. Hot mess.
It's not like it's gonna actually hurt him. Jeez. Make it sound like there's some kind of big thing that just happened here.
Tell me something I don't know.
What do you mean, something you don't know?
Tell me something you don't know. Or something I don't know. And I will tell you something you don't know. Make it good.
What could I possibly know that you would want? Okay.
I never asked anything I wanted. I asked for something I don't know.
You're able to go anywhere that you want. So, what you know and what you don't know, I don't know.
Gotta make it good then, don't you?
I'm not playing this game.
You should. Because there's something you definitely don't know.
And I'll figure it out on my own.
Not before this whole place comes burning down along with all of you with it.
Thanks for the heads up.
No, that's not the heads up.
Get out.
Forty. Try and listen to your caretaker. And as a caretaker, I have to ask, you know who you're talking to right now, right? The person who shut down the Scourge. The person who stood face to face against Cain. The person who managed to hold a whole bunch together when everybody else was at each other's throats. What do you think I am capable of? Why do you think it is that Resnick keeps me on the payroll?
Because you're a sneaky, conniving bitch.
I am such a bitch. But
You're
I'm
also
also a
here
little
for a
more-
reason like the rest of us.
yeah. Just remember who has their hand on the pin. We don't want ripples in the water.
No ripples. I'll make sure of it.
And 40. We'll be seeing a lot of each other. Well, I'll be seeing a lot of you. So I want you to remember that. And he thinks about it for a moment. And I gotta bring this back. Because, oh yeah, here's exactly it. He looks to 40. What you see isn't always the truth. You gotta pay attention to these things. Which he should recognize as a conversation piece that just happened in a car that he was alone with Resner in.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Okay.
Now, I'm going to end up escorting my fabulous ass out. And I really don't want to end up knowing that a bunch of fun toys ended up suddenly getting broken in Resner's little house due to some form of domestic that I wasn't able to record and put on Pornhub.
Ew. You're disgusting.
Honey, we're just getting started. I'm going to walk my fine ass out of here. I know that you hate to say goodbye, but you do love to see me leave. So, with that in mind, try and remember who you're dealing with. You're entrusted with the thin blood. Try and end up showcasing that you're actually sire material. Otherwise, I might accidentally end up building up expectations. Toodles! With that, I start to go out the door. However, at that point, I am going to stay just out of the way. Probably going to be outside, listening in using heightened senses.
Well, it's going to be at that point that we're going to call the session a night, actually.
Absolutely. I am just staying on where he's going to end up listening because he's never that far away. And I got a furry pauldron.
But but it is also getting dry and close to the end of the night, so it is going to conclude the night as well. So.
All right.
But with that being said, everything is finished up. Everything is all good, mostly. Mm-hmm. So, with that, we're going to move on to some experience for our lovely, lovely cast members. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this lovely show of Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hands. I have also a shoulder pauldron. I have Kitty.
At this point, it's more of a breastplate.
Yeah. She baby. I love her. She my baby. Y'all saw the other one, Felix. He is my brother's baby. And they are fantastic beings. I love them both.
This is a cat channel.
This is very much a cat channel. All cats are welcome here. Hi, Papa.
All cats are bastards.
But yes, as regarding the experience, everyone at the table gets one for showing up, as per the usual. And our audience favorite poll has been started between the three characters of the channel today, being Shrink, Aaron, and Dorian. You can vote for them for any which reason that you get entirely. It is very much up to you. So, we're going to talk a little bit about some roleplay prompts between the three characters. So, who moved our plot today?
Resner. Mr. Worldwide. Resner and all of his efforts to collect the Thin Bloods together and protect them.
Just like generally... Pokemon, I gotta have them all.
Generally, just trying to figure out how to connect everyone together is also very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Setting them up and that whole process. A lot of everything is just kind of slowly coming into fruition for him.
Ooh, if Resner heard Blaine acting like that, you would see the bad side of Aventru.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Mm.
At this point, the warning's already been issued, and making it clear that you can't trust that what you think is being done in silence is done in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Paranoia is an amazing control tool, isn't it?
That's what we're trying to instill.
But is that a unanimous on Dorian moving plot?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dorian,
Okay.
you get it.
Take it away.
Best scene.
I liked.
Mr. Winters, specifically for the whole speech when he ended up having to intervene with 40 hands. I love that.
Oh, what? Oh, I was gonna say Shriek for the same reason.
Yeah, like both you, like when I think they were both good.
You gotta be the deciding factor. Help.
I think.
Hold
Derek-
on. Specs.
Huh?
We got to do it now.
What? Ah! 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 Ah!
No, I think Derek barely eked you out though. They were both really good though.
Ha!
So Shriek, I think Shriek gets it.
Okay.
There you go, Shriek.
Yay!
Yay!
Fabulous!
Best line.
Okay, that's Dorian.
Yes, I agree.
Me and Specs, like, as we're hearing it, it's like, that is the line of the night. That is literally... okay.
The
If
most
there was-
true line.
That is the most Ventrue line I think you have ever delivered. If it gets to the point where I have to lie, I already lost.
Ooh.
Right.
I was proud of that.
That's a good line for a Ventrue. Like the Ventrue is like, I don't need to deal in deceptions.
Love
I
it.
deal in certainties.
I mean, I'll even throw my opinion into that one. That one resonated with me hard. My inner Summer and my inner Clayton were very proud of you.
that is probably the most flex line I've heard you say all Chronicle.
Mm.
Oh, I have a high point now.
Yes, you do.
I think that is. I was actually like after I said it, I'm like I actually saw Derek like impressed. I was like,
He was like,
"Fuck, I actually hit."
Yes!
That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the
the
one.
I'm trying to learn this Ventrue thing.
but also it was
It's
kind
tough.
of it was kind of
I
fun.
say this. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Coffee.
Oh, I was just gonna say it was also kind of fun to put Kane and Dorian in the same room.
I have to argue with myself.
For chat, we put in the gif of the Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Because Kane was Fat Guy's
Yeah.
original character coming into the Chronicle, but has
Fat-
since become an
Fat Guy?
antagonist.
Fat Guy, the reason I'm proud of that particular line is because it's something I said a little bit off camera, but it's something I've repeated like for several years now. Ventrue are one of the hardest character types or vampires to play, specifically because the mentality is very difficult for people to grasp. More often than not, it's played more as a stereotype or a cardboard cutout where they will say the thing, but it's one thing to say the thing, it's another to understand it.
Mm.
And at that point, for that brief moment, I had no question that Dorian Resner understood what that meant.
Yep, definitely sounds like Dorian got that experience point. And Shriek, you were the audience's favorite.
Take it away.
It's that sweet ass watching him lead.
Yep. They hate to say for me to say goodbye, but they do love to see me leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, that concludes the show for tonight, guys. It is time for me to get to bed. I'm already yawning and falling asleep over here. So, shout outs to my lovely cast members again for playing tonight, for being the best of all people. It's a sad day that Mox had the flu and couldn't make it today, but
We miss you, Mox.
we miss you, Mox. We love you very much. If you see this VOD. But that does mean that you, as audience member, can also watch VODs on YouTube, because the more subscribers we get, the more we could actually potentially do some stuff with YouTube, question mark. So be sure to subscribe over there if you're not already. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't actually followed us on Twitch where we do this show live, you should do that too, because you're probably a week behind compared to everybody else. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.